Kia ora, you're watching The Form, and this weekend we're heading off to Trentham where the jumpers take centre stage in the Wellington Hurdle and Steeplechase, also heading up to Ruakaka for the Championship Finals Day. So firstly, joining me in studio to take you through this action is Lee Thinnis, and beaming in for their respective studios is Aidan Rodley and Bevan Sweeney, and this is what's coming up. We'll be starting with our features out of Trentham, both of the jumps races, the hurdles and the steeples, our Trentham preview, the flat races on the undercard, our racetrackers as usual, then we're picking out the two best races from Ruakaka on their program, and our best bets, we've got you more of those this weekend. Well, Trentham is where we start off our program. Bevan Sweeney, I'll say very good morning to you. What's it looking like track and weather conditions wise on Saturday?
Well, hasn't it been a sparkling week? A very good morning to the team. It's just been incredible down in this part of the world. It was sparkling yesterday morning, about -3 getting up. So we're up in the valley there in Upper Hutt, so there's never a lot of drying once it gets into that heavy 10 sort of range. Just looking at the forecast into the weekend, looks brilliant leading into the day, but I'd be very suspicious that we're not going to get too much of an upgrade for a great day of jumps racing.
Well, let's take a look at one of those jumps races. It is the Metro Clad Limited Wellington Hurdles, and Taika heads the bidding at $2.80, Nedwin at $3.10, and then you're getting out to a price around Invisible Spirit at $6.50. Firstly, let's go back to Taika, and Bevan Boy, he was very brave here, just ran into one better.
He did, and he's a pretty sharp sort of horse, Bury the Cash. I did speak to Mark Olligan about both his horses. A little disappointing that we're not getting a bit of a clash around the very, very top echelon, but he thought he couldn't get to all three, so he's heading to Riccarton. Look, he's really brave, Taika, and he does have a bit of brilliance on the flat. There's very little in it at the line. He's getting fitter and fitter with time, and I think Trentham should really suit him. He's tough to beat, Lee.
He got pulled up in the race last year. He hit a fence badly and just put a line against his run last season. And look, he's super fit this year, and good jockey combination as well.
Yeah, it was some performance at Te Rapa last time out, and just a space back to third and fourth and fifth. He's just a horse who's obviously, he's got the ability, we know that, and now he's got the fitness under his belt, and on that performance, I think he's the horse to beat in this Wellington Hurdle. Another key lead-up is this one from Te Aroha. Obviously, Helena Baby has been one of the jumping finds of the season, but in behind, Invisible Spirit's got a terrific race, had been winning a couple of starts before, beating Matalo, who's another race rival. Leith, you'd have been taken by this performance, I'm sure.
Yeah, Helena Baby's a star, isn't he? Look, if he wasn't in the race, Invincible Spirit wins pretty easy. I think there's a bit of timing about him. Dummy Myers has probably set him for this Wellington Hurdles as well, so I like what I saw there, and take nothing away from the winner, but the second horse, he was really good.
Yeah, he was really, really good, and he has been very, very good across his jumping career. I think it is 8 starts for a couple of wins and 3 minors. So Kevin's taken his time with him. But he's only getting half a kilo off Taika, who's been about in the very big dances. So that sort of leads me to stick with Taika. Lord Spencer continues to be in the mix without really probably performing right up to the level I thought Lord Spencer would get to. In Country Bumpkin, we're all waiting for him to get over the steeplechase, but Noel's just being very, very patient with him, and he can be a dashing jumper at times, but Taika for me on top.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Dummy Myers camp, Invincible Spirit. Look, I think there's a bit of timing about him. He's going to love that heavy track at Wellington, and look, the good trainer-jockey combination as well.
Yep, for me, I'm going Taika. Obviously, that form round Bury the Cash is very good. I thought the main danger here was clearly Nedwin, who's won 3 of 6 at Trentham, 10 of 20 on heavy tracks, and has been around the best quality hurdlers the whole way through. Taika, narrowly ahead of Nedwin.
Either way, it sounds like a race you do not want to miss as we move on to the steeplechase now. Race number 7 on the program, sponsored by Grant Plumbing. And you can see up the top, there he is, the Cossack, $1.45. Outside of him, Izzy My Dad at $4.60. Everything else at double figure odds. Let's have a look at him. The Cossack, absolutely brilliant here, taken on most of the way, Bevan. How do they beat him?
Well, it'll be tough because I was up there on Tuesday morning and saw him, and he looks incredible. The Cossack has run on the flat. I did get a hint of caution from Paul that he went really enormous at Hawke's Bay, and he hoped that hadn't maybe taken an edge off him. I don't think it had, seeing him on Tuesday morning walking up the hills. They're fascinating place out there at Paul Nelson's. He's a champion, he has to carry weight. We saw that be a little bit too much for West Coast the other day, but he's done it before and he was coming away at the line there, Leith, which was a key factor.
Yeah, he's an amazing horse, isn't he? Just a freak of the jumps. And look, this race last season, he got taken out the 700 metres and he still ran third and he was beaten 4.6 lengths. So, look, he'll be back to win this year and I reckon he's a good thing in the race.
Okay, Star Horse, and obviously what they did at Te Rapa, especially the rival jockeys and rival camps, is that they took him on. They made it hard for him. There were horses up there just taking the edge off him, but he still was able to fight there late. If they are going to beat him again, then maybe it's similar tactics from the rivals. I know it sort of it drew a little bit of criticism that the tactics against him, but yeah, he is a star and he's well capable, even with the big weight. And here's Izzy, my dad, who's been going really well all season. The run last time out at Hastings, very good. The win going back 3 starts to Wanganui was terrific, and he will be the horse on speed again, Bevan, the one setting them up. Obviously, there's decent form coming out of this race as well, so just hard to match him up against the Cossack on their best, but maybe at the weight some chance.
Look, he's got massive improvement in him because I spoke to Kenny post this race and he said he'd had a terrible 2 weeks of preparation with a couple of, maybe even 3 stone bruises through a couple of weeks. So he'd obviously missed some decent sort of work. And he's a very, very good jumper in his own right. He was going really, really strongly earlier on in the season. Look, that maybe was disappointing to the eye, but I think there was a few factors around that particular performance that influenced. He was 12 lengths away. I think he can be really closer this week for sure. So I think he's a danger and he's a real cover bet for me, Izzy, my dad. Leith, if you factor in a few stone bruises, 2 weeks leading up to a race over a trip like that, there's sure to be improvement in him.
Yeah, definitely. Look, he ran second to the West Coast last year, and he had 66 kilos last year. He's gone up 1.5 kilos to 67.5. If there was going to be one to beat the Cossack, it's probably him for sure. But I'm all over the Cossack. Look, if he just stays, doesn't fall, I think he just wins.
Can't disagree. He looked fantastic, as I mentioned on Tuesday. 73's a lot of weight, but he's been there, done that, and I'd expect him to win. I think Izzy, my dad, will push him very, very hard. Look, I'm intrigued as we get back to Aidan. Look, I've got no criticism of the tactics last time. You're up against a champion. You've got to come up with a plan to beat the Cossack. If you're just sitting behind him and watching him do his thing, you're not winning. So you have to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll the dice and see where you land up against a horse like that. Normally it's going to be at your own detriment, but who knows? He is the class horse of the race and he's a worthy short-priced favourite. But it's just at what level are you going to be backing him? Are you going to take him at $1.45? If he trims up, are you going to take him at $1.35? Where does his value lie? And that's maybe just a difficult thing leading into this race. But, yeah, like the boys, he's clearly on top for me.
Yeah, absolutely, Aidan. Maybe the one just to pop through Maltese if you're that way inclined. So that completes our look at the Wellington Steeple and Hurdles. And don't forget to, on the day, we do have the bonus back and play with the TAB across the first 4 races, not only from Trentham, but Caulfield and Randwick as well. We continue on with our Trentham preview, turn our attention to the flat races, and this one over the 1,000 metres is race number 8 on the program. The Vernon and Vasey Truck Parts in Sinbin heads the betting at $3.10, from Highlighter at $3.50, Blue Veins in the market at $6, including Durham Lad at $6.50. So that's a look at how the market is currently playing. Let's take you back to some form. And Leith, the highlighter here, third, 2 starts ago at Te Rapa. What do you make of the effort?
Yeah, really good run, Pip. Look, I think the best thing about highlighter is race at Wellington before down the chute. So the 1,000 metres is going to be a bit of a plus too. So look, I think highlighter, Lemmy Douglas, 57 kilos, gets 2 off its back, so 55. It's pretty well weighted in the race as well.
one thing about this horse, so obviously he's bringing good form around the likes of Caitlin's Wish and company, then drops out of a really strong fillies and mares race at Tauranga. Just where she gets to back into handicap company and what's I feel with a little bit of depth, Lemmy Douglas takes a couple off to the 55, but yep, in the mix for sure, and definitely a bona fide contender in this race. Not on top for me though, Bevan.
I agree. Really finds form this mare, and she just continues on with it. I wasn't with her last time she trekked to Trentham, should have been, because she blew them off the racetrack. It was a really, really dominant performance. A couple of kilos off down to 55. I think she's probably suited in a race like this. Look, there's some interesting runners down the bottom. They're running out of their grade, to be honest with you. But look, Sinbin is very, very talented. I think she's completely suited to 1,000 metres down the chute. This was an open handicap trial. There were some reasonable sort of runners out wide trying to have a crack at her, but she was doing it under a hat canter, really down towards the inside. She'll put herself there, hopefully, with senior rider Lisa Allpress going aboard. You don't want to see her getting back, getting in the ruck. That's happened at Rickett and that's happened at Trentham, and she's been beaten when she's run outstanding sectionals. If they put her in the race, I think she's deadly to catch Leith Sinbin.
She's had 6 starts at Wellington now for 2 wins and a couple of placings, and probably a couple of them she probably could have won as well. She was sort of a little bit lost. CL Butler was on her a couple of times there, and like Lisa's a senior rider. She gets on with the horse. She's won a trial in this, so she's going to be awfully hard to beat there.
Another thing about Sinbin is that it's the only horse who's a real 1,000 metre horse. It's had a couple of starts at that distance for a couple of placings. A lot of these horses haven't even tried 1,000 metres, but it's going to play a little bit longer than 1,000 metres, you'd think, the way that the track comes up. And for that reason, I'm looking for a horse such as Durham Lad, who's got those couple of runs under the belt. Really liking what I saw last time from this horse. After doing work and running, was able to really fight on. I thought this was a terrific second up run. There's going to be further improvement, and I really like what we've seen of this horse. Undoubtedly a horse who loves the wet tracks. I think there's a heap of improvement. Look at the sweat down this horse's neck, and you can just see it's early preparation stuff from Durham Lad. I reckon he's the big improver coming into this, and for that reason I have Durham Lad on top of selections for me. Leith, who did you have? Look,
I'm going to go highlighter. I think the 1,000 metres is going to really suit her. Like you said, it's going to be a really testing track. Lemmy Douglas on, gets the 2 kilos off its back, and yeah, I'm happy with the $3.50.
I'm happy with Sinbin for the wonderful Sandy Cookson and Angeline Porter. Robbie Patterson, of course, has been away on holiday. Lisa Allpress from a decent sort of gate. I hope they ride positively, put the horse there, and I think she's very, very difficult to catch. The mare by Darren in one of the features at Trentham.
I like it. As we move on to race number 9, the next race we want to take a look at, this is the Jarvis Plumbing and Gasworks Limited White Handicap. Hacksaw Ridge, $3.80 favourite from Blackwood Star at $4.40, Cork at $4.50, and Sacred Pearl also at that quote. So small field, but certainly open as we take you back to the first horse we want to highlight, Blackwood Star. Probably surprised many here, Bevan, flipping the form around.
Well, it's a really honest horse, this, and I think Kate's ridden it 3 times to 3 wins. But there was no real excuses because they went no tempo in this particular race, and it's come to the outside, to be fair to the better part of the track condition, and really rounded them up very, very strongly. The second horse here has gone down a lip to the mighty LJ at Hastings on Saturday. So you've got to have the form recommend, but I wonder if there's a deeper sort of plan at play here around Blackwood Star, coming back to the 1,600 metres, which will run a little bit further than that. But I just wonder if there is something in the future up over a trip that the focus is about, but definitely can be competitively.
Yeah, I'm like you. I think this step back to a mile, even though the track's going to suit him, I think 2,200 metres, 2,000 metre race somewhere. I can't have him on my top ticket this week, but be watching, like you said, Kate Hurcock gets on good off the horse, but yeah, 56 kilos as well, bit of a negative for me.
The form says maybe, though. You've just got to say, as Bevan said, what Maroney's come out and run second. In behind, LJ's run 4th, who's won since. Prince Albies run 5th, has won since down south. So, geez, when would the last time a horse have won both the Parliamentary and the White Handicap? They used to be on the same day. They used to be on the undercard of the steeples on the same day, and was they were together. They went hand in hand. Well, this year Blackwood Star's got a chance of winning them both both, and on those form lines, especially what's come out of the race subsequently, then definitely a chance. Here's Hacksaw Ridge, a good second placing last time out. This was the effort at Hastings, and in behind Sacred Pearl runs a pretty handy race, a race won by Tobias. I'm not too sure how you weight this form up, especially in relation, Lee.
Yeah, I think Back to Wellington's going to really suit Lisa Allpress on as well, even though she's won on him once. She's had 5 rides. I think he was pretty strong to the line as well. There was a bit of a fast strip there at Hawke's Bay on the inside, so he had a bit of an advantage. But I think Back to Wellington's going to be, he's actually my pick on top, actually.
Tobias is a great story actually through this winter, and he really emerged as a decent sort of horse, and he was a really hit and miss sort of galloper early on in his career, but this season he's come strong. Hacksaw Ridge, I think, is just taking that little bit longer to come up this preparation. Sort of Egg Turf Challenge time last season was really flying and running some really nice races. A good second last time to Tobias. You can't count it out. 54 kilos and the rider a big plus. Just don't have it on top because, look, I think Cork's a massive improver. This race didn't really change any pattern, did it, or any sort of picture as we headed into the home straight. What a win from the winner, Casino Princess, was very good. Look, I think a little disappointing to the eye, but I just think there's massive sort of upside around Cork coming back into Trentham. I think the weight at 56 is okay. I've just got a sneaky feeling there's going to be a fair bit of improvement from Cork. Hit the line nicely there, tempo related, on speed, kicked and won. So I'm going to be quite keen on Cork on Saturday, Lee.
Yeah, there's no rider down as yet on Cork, but like you said, it was Tauranga track was playing really up and in, and Cork looked, it was just sort of battling a little bit down the straight, but it was probably a better run than you sort of look on TV as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think Bevan summed it up perfectly. And we know this horse, last preparation was a winner second up, is a top on heavy going, looks in a very good place in the weights at 56. And who knows when this race happens, if they do actually accept, because speaking to Pam Gerard on Wednesday morning at the track, she was thinking, yeah, we'll get the horse down to Trentham, then we'll get on to the Winter Cup where they ran second last preparation. But there's no reason why Cork couldn't go around with 52 on her back with a 4 kilogram claim. There's certainly some decent 4 kilogram claimers such as Ayush Madhu who's down there. So yeah, bar everything going to plan, Cork is I think above this field. Leith, who'd you?
Hacksaw Ridge. I think Lisa Allpress, the JJ Rayner. Look, $3.80, a little bit short, but it's a small field. I think he'll probably just posse maybe in front or outside the leader, and he has won at Wellington before.
I'll go with Cork. I didn't mind that fresh up run, second up the records there, top on heavy track conditions, clearly heading to Riccarton where it ran second last season in a very even go. I've just got a sneaking suspicion Cork is on that upward profile.
There you go, the guys liking Cork and Leith with the Hacksaw Ridge, and that completes our look at Trentham. The first race from there Saturday, nice and early, 10:45 a.m. Time for your race trackers on the form. Note these ones down. Leith, who have you found for us this week?
Yeah, maiden is Chabil, Bull Thurlow trained runner. It's a American Thoroughbred trained horse, big strong horse. Look, this race at Otaki was sort of back midfield. He's run the fastest 800, 600 and 200 metre sectionals. So look, there's a Waverley meeting on the 28th of July, end of this month, Pip, and look, he'll be winning very soon. Maiden mile there as a home track. He looks like he's going to be a good winning bet.
Bell's Bow there, one scratched Thursday at Wanganui. Bell's Fate will win wherever it lines up for Roy Patterson. Here's my race tracker in Carignan. Now Lily got 100th, but I think she made a slight mistake here. She rolled off and allowed Lisa to come through in between them with Carignan. I'm sure this horse heads down to Riccarton and finds a race that it is very well capable of winning. It'll win at short notice. Lily, of course, got 100 and 101 and right in the mix for that jockey's apprenticeship.
Yeah, isn't that some sort of battle with Narrandin Palmer back and fighting it out? I'm going to have a look here at reverberations. Now, the one thing about this horse, obviously a former North Islander who had good form in the North, this is a clear swoopers race. Of the top 6, only 2 horses run in the top 6, or the top 6 in running, where they finish. This horse has finished 3rd, still comes out with the quickest last 200 of the race, despite how the race was run. Just a next upper for me.
And I'm going for a futures tracker here in Clear Thinking. Slipped out of the gates at Randwick on Saturday and was well and behind horses right throughout until Zach Lloyd just got that clear gap, and she absolutely flew late for the Masara Gavranich stable. She was actually brought for breeding, but she's going so well. They're going to spell her now, and she's heading towards the Kosciuszko, where she's second favourite in the futures at $7. So thought she was super impressive there, and maybe one you could follow when she comes back in the new season. Here's a summary for you. Our trackers, note them down, chuck them in your black book on the new TAB website. We're heading up to the winterless north because it is a finals day. Leith, what weather and track conditions can we expect?
Pip, it's going to be nice and fine between now and Saturday. Look, the track's rated a soft 5 at the moment, but I'm pretty sure by Saturday morning it'll get back to that good 4 range. Look, the rail stays in the 3 metres from where it was last time. Yeah, interesting, from the 400 to the half mile it goes out 6 metres, so there's probably a little bit of wear and tear. So look, it's a great card and should be really fair racing on Saturday.
Yeah, it certainly is a fantastic card. And let's take a look at one of the first races. Now this is the Sprint Winter Championship Final, sponsored of course by ITM, and Malt-Time favourite at $2.50, Turn the Ace at $3.90, Master Brutus at $4.60, one of your favourites, Leith, and Seamus at $7.50, also safe in this market. Horses we want to take you back to first, well, let's go back 2 starts here to Malt-Time winning, beating Seamus, and she was just too classy this day, Leith.
Yeah, she certainly was. Obviously she's had a race since then at Tauranga where she was sort of a back marker, and it was really hard to make ground, and she still run home really well to run second. So look, she's 2 for 2 on the track there at Ruakaka, and Ace Lawson Carroll, he's had a little suspension, but he's back this week as well.
And he would have had the choice, but I'm sure, between this horse and Seamus, who he won on last time out as well. Obviously, he's attached to the Clockworthy stable, so he'd probably want to stay there. And to be fair, Malt-Time was very good in beating Seamus last time out. But Seamus has made that form look good by winning since. Sulabella has come out of that race and won again as well. There's a swing on weights against those horses that she beat last time out, but she's beaten them so easily, then come out and run really well in Stakes Company at Tauranga last time out. I think she's the horse to beat, especially knowing what she's done at Ruakaka in the past, Bevan. Yeah,
2 from 2, and I suppose in my mind it's tempo related, whether her getting back, is there enough tempo in front of her, especially at Ruakaka when we're getting these good falls at this hard time of the season. And when you've got Turn the Ace in there, you've got Winning for All more than likely going forward. Pippi's got a bit of zip from an inside gate. That should allow Malt-Time to get a split in a small field if she does have a devastating turn of foot. Turn the Ace. Now, they just ran that little bit quicker this day. They went 139.77 against the 141 and change that Turn the Ace had won on here at Tarapa. And of course, there was a 2 kilo uplift from the 56.5. So start to start, a little bit quicker, a little bit more weight. So to the eye, it might be a little bit disappointing. But I think the horse is clearly going well, getting 4 kilos off with an exciting young apprentice, Leith, I understand, aboard, getting a pretty big gig early on in the career.
Yeah, Simmer, he had his first ride. I don't know quite how to pronounce his last name yet. I'm sure Pip does though, but look, Simmer's riding really well. He's attached to he rides work for Lance O'Sullivan, Andrew Scott, and he's been given a really good opportunity to ride Turn the Ace. Looks the natural leader in the race as well. So look, the 4 kilos will help him. And look, that race at Tarapa wasn't that bad either, where he sort of got tickled up from the 1,200 metres to sort of the top of the straight as well.
I know he knows how to pronounce your last name, Leith, because I heard him on TV saying Mr. Innes. Don't hear Mr. Innes very often, and I can tell you it's Mkorthwa. So Sima Mkorthwa is the way, or Sima. You'd know the first name better than I would anyhow. But yeah, it certainly does help Turn the Ace with his 4 kilogram claim, down to 57.5. This horse is better known at Tarapa, but obviously going really well, and they will be able to get to the front on this horse and maybe look to dominate. Another horse just want to have a look at here is Pippi, winning last time out, and obviously this is a Master Brutus form as well. Now Pippi drops 1.5 kilograms, but Master Brutus, who was desperately unlucky, drops 5, so comes in 3.5 kilograms better off. The only thing about Master Brutus, he's a 71 horse up against a couple of 95s, so he is really, if he wins this, he's going to get hammered in the handicap, but he's definitely a chance on what we've seen in these last couple of leagues. Yeah,
Pippi's going really well, isn't she? Look, home track's a big plus for those Ruakaka trained horses. Yeah, Master Brutus, I don't really want to watch that again, but look, Kozio Sano's taking up a contract to ride in Korea, so Warren Kennedy gets on this week, and I think he's a really good chance. 54 kilos, gate 4. He's been unlucky, probably both his starts at Ruakaka, so I think he might be due this week.
There's a lot against Master Brutus when you look at the rating, the weight against those top weights, finds a fair bit of trouble. Change of rider, might just work the oracle with Warren Kennedy aboard. Clearly a very talented horse. But yeah, I agree with that, and it's interesting because it'll get poleaxed with weight, and I don't know where it puts itself in the handicap going forward. Pippi's going really, really nicely. She sort of puts herself there. She'll put herself there from the inside gate, and if they sit and watch, horse is certainly going well enough to be very, very hard to beat. On top for me, I am going with Malt Tom. I think it's the class act in the field. I think there's enough speed here that they'll be able to get a run through, and she clearly, in my mind, has the best turn of foot in this race.
Yeah, certainly. I think Malt Time is definitely going to be hard to beat, especially with the speed on the race. I'm going to go with Master Brutus. Look, Sophie Nolan's really happy how he's come through his last run. Look, he should have won that day, and I think Warren Kennedy's going to be a big plus this week.
Yep, third up, he's got to be in the mix for sure, but as I said, he's got to come up to the bottom of the handicap and then get re-handicapped after that, so a win would be really hurtful for him going forward. I was really taken by what we saw of Malt Time last time. The win, well, actually 2 starts back on the track, just sublime and pretty good company, and doing it by a space. I think she's the horse to beat.
Yeah, plus if Les jumped off, he'd have to go to the psychiatrist as well, I think, as we move on to the Whangarei Gold Cup Stayers final here in Blue Sky at night. To $4.80 is your favourite. Cimarron at $5.50, Bosch $7, and then you're getting out to Mineshaft and Chevron at $9.50 with the outsiders across the page. So it's a very open Stayers final, as you'd expect, as we take a look at Blue Sky Night. Up in grade here, Leith, and handled it really well for a good second.
Yeah, she was really good. Obviously, she's never raced at Ruakaka before, and look, just a little bit of a question mark for me on the sort of good 4 track. Shelley Howe, as we all know, she's a really great trainer, and look, Taylor Mitchell gets 1 kilo off the back as well, so down to that 54. So look, she was solid here at Tauranga, but I'm just a little bit nervous about the good 4 track on Saturday.
Yeah, step up to 2,100 metres comes in well, and obviously really nicely placed. But yep, I agree. There's got to be a few question marks, but the form's good enough. You've got to say that it is in the mix. Bevan, how do you assess it?
I think in the mix, but I do share Leith's thoughts around the better track conditions. Up there, look, he's generally been getting back. Taylor Mitchell takes a kilo off from a decent sort of draw, so I'm a little bit speed map worried as well. So there's a couple of factors that just say can't have it on top. This is a race to follow, and it's a really interesting race in the fact that Mineshaft wins. Does run the best sectionals, but I just feel there's a bit of timing about Cimarron. It's drawn a beautiful gate. It's another one that'll get back from the draw. They really push the button here and put it in front. And look, I thought it was massively brave to hang in there and only go down to Mineshaft on this occasion. Now, Warren Kennedy is continue his association from here. He'll need a little bit of luck. I'd hope they sit and just wait a little bit further than that. But I think this horse is a real danger, Leith, in this particular race, and going really well.
Yeah, it certainly is. Loves the track there as well. Had 7 starts with 2 wins and 2 placings. So, look, I know these trainers have all sort of set their horses for this race as well, being the championship final, sort of 60,000 at stake as well. So, look, Hebby, she'll be ready this week, and 54 kilos a big plus.
Yeah, absolutely. Liking what we've seen from, especially, like, the win was very good, and Kelly Myers was able to just sum it up. Saw that there was a sitting duck out in front and just really send Mineshaft and run Cimarron down. But Cimarron comes in just a touch better at the weights this time round with a more conservative ride. I think Cimarron's going to have to be really hard to beat.
Well, you mentioned Mineshaft. Let's head out to the track and head to Pam Gerard. Just asked her how he's come through that last start performance.
I'm happy with him. Like, usually we're sort of spaced his races a wee bit more than the 2 weeks, and it's a bit of a trip up there. Like last time we went up there overnight and they went for a walk on the beach, but it does take its toll on them. So yeah, whether he can turn around in 2 weeks, but certainly very happy with his work, and he's bright as a button. Certainly the way they race up there, where they he can drop out the back, do nothing. They always fan out in the corner. There's always room to run through them. So you know, it's good money, the money's up, and certainly won't be shying away from having a go.
He didn't race that well last week, but as the commentator said, he needed a surfboard, he was that wide. After last week up there, yeah, confidence levels aren't high, but on his work yesterday morning, yes, a lot better, yeah.
He's obviously capable enough too, isn't he, mate?
He's definitely capable, and he likes Ruakaka, yeah.
Yeah, record at Ruakaka, very good. Fly My Way has had 9 starts for 2 wins, 4 minors, and yeah, and needing a surfboard, he was out that wide. It's an interesting comment, but his previous form, okay's not out of this as well. I'm going out of that same race. I'm going to go with Cimarron. Just comes in that kilogram and a half better than Mine Shaft last time out in the head-to-head weights, but yeah, it's a key form race and a really competitive running of this Stayers final. Leith, who'd you have?
I'm actually going to give a top weight Chevron. I know last start he died sort of late in the straight, the last 200 metres, but look, he was stepping up from 1,400 metres to 2,100. I reckon Chris Gibbs has had this race in the back of his mind for a while. I know he's got the 60 kilos, but look, he's gate 11. Michael McNabb's got a good association with the horse as well, so I think he'll be leading, and I reckon he's going to be awfully hard to roll.
I'm going to go with Cimarron as well. They're swinging the weights. I thought that was a really good performance, so I think they'll just have to ride him a little bit differently on Saturday, but I don't think there's going to be a massive disadvantage around him. I think the horse is going really, really well, and 54 kilos is a big plus for mine.
Like it, the guys in the camp of Cimarron, well, 2 of them anyway, and don't forget too at Ruakaka, whatever you're liking, the odd search is available on each and every race out of Ruakaka on the 7-race program, and that'll be on Trackside 1 Saturday.
About me every night, oh, is it that sweet I guess so you can't sleep.
Just call me Mickey Too Sharp, cruised in the end, and he'll get in by 3.5.
We will rock and Tristan Moodley, and we'll do this very comfortably indeed. Cornelia eating into that margin now. Shoes Cornelia. Cornelia on the outside will get Shoes short of the post.
Wessex is drawing away again. Wessex fending them off. Favourite Too Strong.
Yes, the boys bringing home the bacon last week with the best bets. Only me letting the team down, so I better lift my game as I go to you, Leith. Who do you like this week?
Look, yeah, finally got one, Pip. Look, I'm going to go race 2 on Saturday, the 2-year-old race. Look, there's only 6 runners. I'm all in. Look, he's the only race winner in the race. Warren Kennedy's ridden him on all the starts. Look, he's got 57 kilos, but he's got the good gate in gate 1. I think he's going to be awfully hard. Odds surge, you're getting about $1.90 as well.
I'm going to go with Semper Magico. I don't want to relitigate what happened last start. Probably, I think if it had an inquiry, I think Semper Magico wins. Again, he's not the perfect jumper yet, but he's got more flat ability than this particular field, and with a little bit of improvement, I think he's tough to roll.
I'm going to take you to the first race at Riccarton on Friday to Muzzlecat. One who's been on the radar for the last few. Recent form's been good, and I just love the fact that these horses who have got the class to be running at the shorter trips get up to 2,200 metres, and they've got a clear class advantage. It is a big step up in distance from 1,400 metres to 2,200, but I think she is well capable. And Pip, what you need is just what Bevan gave us all last week, that real pep talk that got us winning again.
Oh, exactly. Well, I hope you guys can give me one, because I'm going to stick with Big Time Bora. Whanganui, she's in the extra meeting code, race number 5. She won on Tuesday. I think she backs it up on Friday. So here's a summary of what we are liking. Aiden with Muzzle Cat. Mr. Love for the Whale at Addington on Friday. Big Time Bora for myself on Friday. Then we head to Trentham on Saturday. Semper Magico. And I'm all in for Leith up at Ruakaka. And once again, that completes the form for another week. Thank you to Bevan, Aiden and Leith. Hopefully we've found you the winners. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you back next week.